Good morrow, my quaint companions. This is Cavalier here, and today I'll be bringing you the first episode of Little Limelights, a mini-sode-based series for tactics in Hearthstone. On today's episode, we're covering the one, the only, the formidable and the feeble. You know him, you love him. It's the Mana Wyrm! This card is a mage-specific minion who's a badass with a purple ponytail and a hard-on for incantations. Mana Wyrm has at its center a white gem, indicating that it's a common drop obtainable as part of the classic set of cards, an arena reward, or at a measly cost of 40 dust or 400 for the gold variant. As such, it rewards the player with a mediocre 5 dust for disenchanting, 50 for the golden variant. The artist for Mana Wyrm is noted as Blizzard Cinematics, implying that it is or is based off of computer-generated artwork from Blizzard themselves for promotional or gaming purposes. In this case, the art comes from a cinematic, World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade. As an additional bit of flair, Mana Wyrm is the only card featured on Hearthstone.gamepedia.com to have this particular artist. The lore on the card literally reads, whenever you cast a spell, gain +1 attack, and the flavor text states, these worms feed on arcane energies, and while they are generally considered a nuisance rather than a real threat, you really shouldn't leave them alone with a bucket of mana. Boy, how true that becomes. Mana Wyrm is a 1 mana cost, 1/3 minion upon summon. An important point to be made. Hero powers are not spells. Despite Jaina or Medivh casting a fireball as their power, Mana Wyrm will not garner any additional benefits from this tactic. Instead, focus on low-cost casts, such as Ice Lance, Mirror Image, and the Coin should you be so fortunate to go second. In the early game, there is generally little risk in getting Mana Wyrm on the field with little or no protection, assuming you can follow up with a board-clearing spell, such as Ice Lance at this low of a mana count, or a protection spell such as Mirror Image on turn 2. As the mid-game approaches, one should take care in playing this meager minion without any protection from, say, bigger taunts like Sen'jin's Shieldmaster or Sludge Belcher. It is also advisable that a minion with spell damage buffs, such as Archmage or Dalaran Mage, be present for any AoE attacks. While Flamestrike might seem like a good card to bump up to top priority, the player is probably better off running cards like Frostbolt, Fireball, and Polymorph to help clear or de-threat the field before attacking. If all goes to plan, you can often get in a few good shots with the Mana Wyrm before its ultimate demise. Don't anticipate to ride on the Mana Wyrm's back to victory, however. Always build a good supporting minion regime below and above them to mop up around the edges at the end of the match. But anyway, that's going to about do it for me today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Little Limelights and found a bit of information to boot. Until I next make your acquaintance, I bid you adieu.